Texas Governor Greg Abbott is under fire for his decision to put Texas construction workers in harm's way during a massive heat wave. So now, last week, Abbott had approved a law that it rescinds city and county ordinances requiring mandatory water breaks for their construction workers in the same week where many cities across the state were reaching triple-digit temperatures. So now the measure, House Bill 2127, was signed into law by Abbott on Tuesday, June 13th, after passing through the Texas legislature. So now, what this was about, there's a couple of different reasons that Abbott signed this. Number one, it's the labor, right? So number two, sticking it to the libs. And number three, racism. We'll get to that. So now first, the cities of Austin and Dallas have had laws on the books for years, 2010 and 2015 respectively, mandating that construction workers take a 10-minute break every 4 hours to drink water to protect themselves from the sun so they don't get heat stroke. Now, the bill will nullify those measures and also prevent other cities from enacting similar laws in the future and go against what state law dictates in areas such as labor, agriculture, and business. So, big government, we love big government. We love it when the big government in Texas tells the smaller city governments what they can and cannot do. Oh, we love having that control. But you believe in freedom, though, right? No, of course you don't. So now, for one, let me just say, taking away workers' water breaks is pretty effed up. Okay? Taking away any break from workers, kind of messed up. And doing so during a heat wave, when you have, of course, climate change that's going to continue to make temperatures even hotter, and a state that's already had a lot of heat-related deaths in the construction industry is cruel. So now, temperatures were up to 120 degrees around Houston last week, last Thursday and Friday. So we've had some pretty hot temperatures in Texas, and you're taking away water breaks from workers. That's cruelty for the sake of cruelty. One Twitter user wrote, Texas is already the top state for workers' deaths. Abbott wants to make sure it stays that way by signing what is being called the death bill. Another user wrote, this is cruel. Texas is one of the states where most workers die from high temperatures. According to, and there's, by the way, numbers to back that up. According to U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, at least 42 workers died in Texas between 2011 and 2021 from environmental heat exposure, making Texas the state where the most workers die from exposure to high temperatures. Now, Abbott looks at those numbers, 42 workers, and look, average people, normal people look at that and we're like, oh, wow, that's horrifying. I can't believe we live at a time where workers are dying from heat-related causes, okay? Greg Abbott looks at this and he says, those are rookie numbers. We're going to have to pump that up. Why? Now, again, as I mentioned, owning the libs, but also supporting, corporations, corporate rule. So now the bill, which was authored by Representative Dustin Burrows, has, again, a lot of Republican support. He said the law will rein in local and county officials that have exceeded authority and will give small business the consistency they need to invest and grow. The bill is a lifeline for small businesses who need consistency and certainty to invest and grow, said Republican State Senator Brandon Crichton, who also supported the law. So wait, I don't understand. How is having workers take a 10-minute break every 4 hours to have water and get out of the sun in triple-degree temperatures, how is that killing small business? That is ridiculous. That's 20 minutes every 8 hours of work. And again, you're saving your workers. Well, it's because Republicans want to crush workers into the ground even further, to really take it to labor. But it gets worse. As I mentioned, racism. it should be noted who this law would impact the most in Texas. In that state, construction workers are majority Latin. Oh, in fact, in 2020, according to a study, Latin workers comprised up to 70% of the approximately 950,000 construction workers across the state. And more than half are thought to be undocumented. So basically what Abbott is doing is putting up a giant middle finger towards the already vulnerable and exploited community and ensuring that their employers can exploit them even more. And if they die, in his estimation, then they die. I mean, half of them all are undocumented anyway, so I guess it's a win for Texas. Yeah, if you're a sociopath, which is exactly what he is. Now, San Antonio Mayor Ron Nirenberg responded to this by saying this bill is undemocratic. It's probably the most undemocratic thing the legislature has done. And that list is getting very long. Local voters have created city charters, and I can't imagine that they will be pleased to have their decisions usurped by lawmakers. Ana Gonzalez, Deputy Director of Policy and Politics at Texas AFL-CIO, says, quote, construction is a deadly industry. Whatever the minimum protection is, it can save a life. We're talking about a human right. Yeah, for water. For water, to take a water break. She also added, we will see more deaths, especially in Texas's high temperatures. But see, again, the cruelty is the point. You know? Cruelty is the point. Texas does not care about its workers. The Republicans do not care about workers, especially since they are largely minority. For them, let them die is exactly what the plan is.